So
Yeah.
how is that like for you?
Okay, Margie, take it away.
Please, please do.
Village Kids.
Hi guys, you're listening to The Village Kids, a podcast hosted by four recently reconnected childhood best friends. My name is Erin.
I'm Annika.
I'm Julia.
And I'm Marga.
So today we're going to talk about moving away from home, from each other. So it happened in phases. A little context, Annika moved out of Davao 2011. She left us in high school. And soon after we all finished high school, the rest of us also moved out of Davao and into Manila, but
Crazy.
also different colleges. Kind of just lost touch during those years. You can watch our video about why we stopped talking to each other. I'll leave it in the cards.
Among the four of us, the first person who really moved out and had to enter that adaptive phase in their life was Annika. And definitely did it the youngest among us. So I
Yeah.
guess her experience is just entirely different. So maybe you'd like to share what that was like for you entering high school, not just in another school, but on the other side of the world for you.
You all had like something similar happen in your lives, moving schools, moving to a different country, all of that. I think what made mine maybe a little different was that it was at a turning point, I'd say, between grade school and high school. That was something that brought me a lot of worry. I remember when I first moved thinking that, okay, at the age of 14, which was second year high school in the Philippines and grade 9 here, my biggest worry was that all of these friendships were already formed and all of these group of friends were already established.
Yeah.
And there I would be the new girl, which is something that I had never been in my life as someone who went to the same school starting age 4 until 14. So that was something that I had to learn to navigate. I think my attitude towards it was to really just not care as much what everyone thought. I think that was like a self-preservation thing. I'm not sure if I react the same way to change now, to just say like, oh, I don't really care, like no matter what happens to me, I'll be okay. But thank goodness that that sentiment kind of kicked in when I was 14.
Yeah.
Just to be like, okay, I fully expect that maybe people already have friends and all, and if I don't make any friends, that's fine. I'll be able to focus on school and other things and not have to worry what people think, because anyway I won't have friends. Like, that was my attitude. And to not know anyone at all, as scary as that is, but it's also really freeing
Yeah.
because it's up to me to just paint that canvas for them. I think I was able to kind of pick and choose different characteristics that I liked from my friends and tried it out with people here and found out what fit for me and who were the groups of friends that I like. The fact that I didn't care again made things seem clearer of what I wanted in friends. It was an adjustment, but overall it turned out to be pretty positive in terms of learning to adapt and figure out who I wanted to be and who I like wanted to surround myself with. So that makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I really love that. The one where you mentioned just regarding the company that you keep. Because I think something that I recall you mentioning to me before you left actually was um, for me to really think about that. I think your parting words were just be more discerning of the people that I let get close to me, because sometimes you just really need to look out for yourself, and also obviously the community that you build around you, um, you get to learn the most from them. And I think that's really great because you became, I guess, a lot more discerning in your moving away, because you kind of knew yourself more and you started realizing what was good for you in your life.
I feel like on the flip side, like from you moving away and us being left behind, quote unquote, it's like a whole other story on our side as well. At least for me, I don't know if Julia also felt the same, but like high school, first year high school was already over, so we also already found new friends in our high school. So I think at this point, our childhood friendship started to like mellow out a bit
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I felt the
you
same.
know you use your time to meet up with these new friends and stuff. So we started spending less and less time together, and then when you moved, it's like it was already slowly starting to fade away, and then when you left, it's like okay, it's we I kind of just lost contact ish with the rest of you guys. Like as I said before, we took the necessary time apart to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Like
agree.
sad but also good, you know.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think what's interesting about that is that Annika left physically away, but even though we were in the same city, whether we were in Davao or Manila, we were still kind of moving away from each other, but not in a completely sayonara, not toodle. It's like goodbye. No, it wasn't
Well,
like that.
for
It was just
Erin,
more
was that
for
that's
now.
her case though? That's what she thought about.
No,
It was
it's more of
sayonara
a
to Rose.
again.
Peace.
Tata for now. I guess jumping from Annika's move, we can kind of fast forward to when we moved
To
to
Manila.
Manila. I think for me specifically, I what was it like in the beginning? I think I just really threw myself into the scene. That was freshman
College.
year in college, freshman year in Manila. I think I just really just let go of everything. I was just like, you know what? Okay, I'm here. I don't know. It was such a blur for me, honestly. Definitely the whole moving away. I wasn't necessarily too scared about it just because I was just so ready to
Leave.
bye. I think for me, in terms of this friendship, similar to Erin, I wasn't necessarily on the same page as her, but how I felt about it was that I was just gonna hold on and then hear all these other new people. But I never felt for a moment, and I'm sure Erin didn't feel that either.
How are you so sure?
No, I'd like to believe.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
No, but I think I never thought for a moment that no, I was gonna replace these beautiful, intelligent, strong women in front of me
Wow.
with just any with just anyone. No, it was just more of getting to know new people and hopefully adding them to the company that I keep, the community, as I mentioned, that I build around me. That it for me, it was really just I knew what to look for in my friends. And it sucked not being able to see people. Definitely I could have tried harder to
Same.
to hang out with you more. Whether I was
Feeling
in
is
Davao or
mutual.
Manila. But I think um I was just really tamad. But I did see Julia more often.
Yeah,
I would
speaking
just run into her.
really?
Not in the most like academic of places, but I would run into her.
What does that mean?
For
Yeah, it was a blur for both of us.
me naman, same with Annika. You know how when you like with us, like we grew up knowing each other and then people change. So like how we were before isn't the same way we handle things. We're not the same people. And I think it was easier for us like from that high school cringy phase of ours moving to another city and becoming this better versions of ourselves. Like I don't know, I feel like it's more of a pro than a con when leaving. When we left Davao, I think we were all keen to leave. So
Yeah.
I didn't even, I don't know what I'm saying.
I get what you mean.
I
Like
feel you. I think
honestly, yeah, the
yeah.
allure of starting over,
Right?
blank slate,
And like
as scary as it
there's
can
no
be.
judgment. Like, oh,
Yeah,
she used to be like this. How is she that
exactly.
now? Like this is a whole new person they're trying to know, because we're all new, so we're all starting fresh there. So I don't know, I enjoyed it. I really liked it.
Same, me too.
I feel like we
Yeah.
all had that kind of wanderlust though. Our personalities are all completely different, but I can tell just like from our conversations how we have that want to see new things, to be in different environments. And I think college was just a gateway for us to get into more of those, or to see how we could deal with any type of situation or scene or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to reinvent ourselves too. I feel like, I don't know, I really enjoy that. I'm the kind of person who overthinks everything that I do and say. Like the past 10 years. So I'd be like, oh my gosh, thank God these people don't know how I was back in high school or something.
I remember saying to my dad a year after we moved, like, oh my gosh, I could move again. We could move somewhere else. Suddenly I think I'll be able to survive. And it's almost like addicting. The way that
Yeah.
Julie was describing it, it's like, no, like I want that change. Suddenly the fear of it goes away because here you are, you did it, you survived it, you thrived,
Yeah, it's
That's
fun.
in I think
true.
all our cases. But now that so much time has passed, I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way. Living in the same city since 2011, I'm suddenly like scared of change. As much as I want it, like, oh my gosh, what would
But
starting
I
over
also
look
feel like,
like?
because you're in such a good headspace also. Like I feel like if you compare your life here and in Canada, like do third world internet pa lang. I don't know.
I love how that's the baseline.
So
As
good.
you said that, all of you guys froze up on my screen.
I get that though. I get that feeling because when you're younger, it's not that we're not young, but when you're younger, like when you're a kid, when you're in school, you're forced to get into like these relationships, even if you're moving for college. But then as you grow up, you're going to start going into things that maybe your circle of friends or the opportunity to make those connections, those deep connections. Maybe because we haven't really gone into it, it feels less and less.
Yeah, that's
I
so
mean,
true. Because, like, if you moved in high school, you'd have classmates that
Yeah.
you make friends
Yeah.
with, or org
Yeah.
mates in college or what. But then now, as much as I would like to try living elsewhere, it's also scary because then where am I gonna look for friends? Like, sometimes in your new job, like, you may or may not find new friends. But what if you don't? Where are you gonna look for new friends?
I feel like I'd enjoy that.
Not having friends? I mean, like, whatever floats your boat.
I feel like I have peace.
I get that. I super feel that actually. Just because you have the luxury of time. Like even if you're stressed with school, you're going through it with people, or you have a lot more people to form connections
Opportunities.
with. Yeah,
Yeah.
opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you get to make friends with people that are your age, but in the real world, like you can you can make friends with any age, but then where are you gonna find them?
I think I find it so interesting. People who just uproot their lives, sometimes do it alone, not necessarily with a family, and they're living their lives elsewhere in a different country, and I'm just always wondering who would that person contact, like who would that person talk to on a daily basis. For example, some of them are my friends, but just because of distance or maybe my lack of time, I don't necessarily talk to that person every day. So I'm wondering who does that person um, include in their daily routine. I
Is this
wonder
bad?
how.
I find this appealing. I'm so sorry. I find it so appealing.
I just
Not
have
having
one thing to say. I have one thing to say. You don't know how bad isolation is till you've tried it.
Yeah, true, true.
I think it also depends. I think for me, I didn't get to feel the isolation that Erin felt just
Yeah,
because I constantly moved, and when
with
I
that.
started working, it was physical.
Oh
So
yeah.
regardless of whether I'm friends with those people, I felt like I was surrounded by people, and that really was good for me because I don't think I would survive being stuck in this 24 square meter apartment every single day and only being able to see my doorman or the delivery man when he gives me my food. So I count that as a blessing just because I know how I thrive in environments around people. Even during this time, I mean, of course, being safe, I just need people around me just so that I feel less alone. And that's just amazing.
Like, have you guys seen Orange is the New Black?
Yeah.
You know how isolation is used as punishment there, right? I used to
Yeah.
not get it. But when I finally went through isolation, I was like, I understand. It is punishment. It messes with you.
Yeah, maybe because I live my family is large. Like I feel like maybe I just need like time alone.
We
That
look for
too.
what we don't have, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
true.
It has to be like a good balance of like boundaries, but also be having people around.
And I think as a isolation, when you look at it in terms of the experience Erin and just isolation in general, sometimes there's no other option. And it's when you take out the option of being able to have the luxury of seeing people, you feel restricted, you feel like something's lacking just because you don't have the opportunity presented to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
So Erin, how about you? You moved to, what was it like for you in the beginning? And multiple since you moved back as well.
I'd say moving out of here was pretty much the same as Julia. I enjoyed it. You, Marga, and Julia, I really enjoyed it because college is fun. College is so fun, guys, I swear. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that hard. And like people in college, like they're also experiencing college for the first time too. So, it's all fun. Moving back was also relieving because, as I said, I came from isolation, coming back home, finally having people around me. It's a nice feeling to have something that you've been deprived of for a long time.
Yes.
And then now that I am deprived of isolation, it is also good to have boundaries. Moving forward, though, it would be great if I got to move again, maybe abroad. I want to try living abroad at least once. Right. Let's move.
Let's all go. Come on, guys.
Let's-
Okay, guys. I want to go to New York. I want to
If
go
not
to
now,
school.
when? Right? But I mean, it's pandemic, but so not now technically, but
Soon.
Let's all go to further.
Remember like me and Morga planning about this in 2019 and then the freaking pandemic hit and
Yeah.
like so our plans are pushed back yet again.
Come
I'm
on,
ready.
guys.
I'm ready now.
2022. I'm looking forward. Come on. Go.
I had a lot to do in 2019, okay? I was still in school.
Yeah.
I had to take the boards, had to get a job. But now that I've settled, I am ready to uproot my life again.
Yes.
where would you all go? Just for the
New
heck of
York.
it.
I would love
Game for New York.
New York.
Let's
Now that I know that we all share that,
I'm
go, Ma.
ready to go
Either
anywhere.
Way. Let's go.
Thanks for tuning in to this sporadic conversation about us moving away and our plans for the future. It was such a spontaneous conversation, but I hope you all enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.